What's going on, everybody? I'm Coach Co. Welcome to Sports Cards Pro. Today, we are going to be diving into a question that we get a lot, and that is, I just started out. I want to open some packs. How do I decide which packs to open? Today, we're going to use some Sports Cards Pro data to help you determine what cards to chase and which packs are best for you to open for your own personal preferences. So we are going to dive into the app here. All right. So for the purpose of this video, I have selected Mac Jones. Mac Jones is a prominent feature in the 2021 Panini football class, and I'm going to show his prices in several of the prominent sets. And we can talk a little bit about price action and stuff of that nature. And this will help you kind of determine maybe I should try to chase this card. Maybe I'm better off buying this card in a bin. So Panini 2021 Donruss Football. This was the first release of Mac Jones in an NFL uniform. As a result of that, you're going to see here that ungraded copies of this card, when they were first released, were selling for as much as $40. And that is because he didn't have any other pro uniform cards out there. And at the time, he happened to be extremely hot. The Patriots were playing phenomenal football. And as you can see, over the course of time, this card's prices, after several releases, started to take a bit of a nosedive, much to the tune of, it seems like ungraded copies are going for about $2. If we scroll down, you're looking for about $1 for this card. So what I'll say is, if you were ripping this card early on, it's not crazy to think that it's probably best to sell it early and potentially buy it back. And this tends to be a trend with a lot of sets when they first release, unless of course you hit a parallel. We can get into parallels on a later video, but for now, we're trying to determine whether or not this card is worth chasing by opening this product. So that is the Donruss. We're going to jump into another one we have available here. Optic. 2021 Panini Donruss Optic. This is another very popular set. This is the chrome version of the Donruss. Okay, so there's the paper Donruss as well as the Optic. One benefit to the Optic sets are the fact that you can chase rookie autographs, and Optic happens to be one of the few sets where there are on-card autographs, so there's that plus there. And once again, you're going to see a pretty similar trajectory when the product first comes out. You're looking at about $30 for a raw copy of Mac Jones. As more and more people open this product, as more and more products start to come out, it also didn't help the fact that he hasn't been playing great and that the Patriots weren't playing great. Bailey Zappi stole some time from him as well. But you start to see this steep drop off. I mean, quite frankly, from July to August, it basically gets cut into like a fifth of the value. It goes from $30 to about $6-7. And then we get down into the same kind of range, so the $2 range. So they're both very similar prices. And again, we'll scroll down and see recent sales. Last sale, this card was $3.25, $1, $3. So, I mean, it's safe to say that this one's a little bit more expensive than the Donruss, which is normal. But again, I mean, buying this card or ripping this card early is probably not the best play. We're going to go into his Prism, which is another very, very, very popular set. I would say probably the most popular and the most recognizable Panini set is probably Prism. So early on, ungraded copies were going for about $22, $23. And again, after release, after a bunch of other sets start to come out, after some poor performances, this card also takes a bit of a nosedive to the point where now it's at about $2.50. And if we look at, the last few sales, $1, $2.50. Now, I will say, if I had to speak on the general consensus of the market, I will say that a Panini Prism is far more desirable than a Donruss or an Optic. So if all of these three are the same price, first of all, you should choose your own artwork. So if you prefer one artwork than the other. Maybe you don't like the chrome. Maybe instead you prefer paperback. I mean, I've given you 3 options now, but if you're talking strictly in terms of like what everyone else is going to desire, let's say if Mac Jones does perform well long-term, Panini Prism beats out the other 2. And we're going to go into the cost of the boxes next. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into another one of my beautiful tabs I've got open here. We are going to use the wax section of the Sports Cards Pro app. So we're going to go into football. You're going to go to football wax. All right. Don't be fooled by the fact that basketball wax shows up first. You're going to scroll down here and we're going to go to football wax. Okay. And we're going to be looking specifically at hobby box prices. Now we're going to type in 2021. All right. And we have here Panini Prism Football, the hobby box. As you can see here, it sells for about $1,100. All right. So I mentioned before, Prism happens to be a very popular set. Hobby box, 2021 Panini Prism, $1,100. Okay. So, if you're ripping a hobby box in order to chase that Mac Jones card, knowing the fact that the Mac Jones, at least the base card, is about $2-3, it might be worth it to save some significant money and just buy the actual card. With all of these boxes, the price usually indicates the fact that, the more expensive the box, the more expensive the potential hits are inside, right? So in the case of, we've got here Optic, like I was mentioning as well. So you got $703.50 for an Optic box. And then down here you have Donruss. So one way to gauge, how expensive the hits are in that product is to kind of figure out how much the product is in general. And then you can kind of determine, all right, well, like what's almost the cap of the type of hits that I can hit in these boxes. And obviously this depends on situation and what's happening in the league, et cetera, et cetera. But you have here Donruss, $318. You have the Panini Donruss Optic for $703. So, a little more than double. And again, the reason is because you can chase those on-card autographs that are quite sought after. And then you have the Panini Prism Football at $1,100. And that's because it's arguably the most recognizable brand of Panini products. And another thing to kind of touch on this whole, should I buy wax? If your goal is and money is no object, and you strictly just want to pull a Mac Jones, you just want to know what it feels like to pull a Mac Jones from a pack. Maybe choosing the cheaper route, $318, might be the best bet here. Or perhaps you want to go a little bit bigger and potentially gamble and see maybe an $1,100 box, and if that can bring you a high price parallel, essentially, right? So we'll click into the box. As you can see, most of them are closing around the same prices here. Looks like roughly about $1,100. So, team, hopefully this helps you decide which product you should rip, if you should be ripping product at all, if maybe you're best suited to just buy the card you're looking for. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Drop us a comment below, because I want to know how we can help you use Sports Cards Pro to help you get one step closer to really feeling confident in the sports card market. Until now, have yourself a great rest of your day. Coach Co is out.